Now, the second part gets even better. It used to be under Texas Organized Crimes Code that there was something called white slavery. Now, by law, white slavery goes back to its sort of explication, a more metaphorical representation of the processes of forcing somebody into acts of prostitution or sex trafficking, especially with interstate components. It goes back nearly 100 years. It was termed white slavery. But I recall when I was a little girl that there were all these movies and all of these alerts on the news about white slavery. There were these stories about how there were these rich oil barons in other countries in Arabia that liked to find white women from the United States and marry them as their second, third, or fourth wife and whisk them away to Arabia, and they were never heard from again. They were supposed to live cloistered and covered, and they were supposed to completely cast off anything that had happened in any part of their life prior to getting married to these royals from Arabia. And it was called white slavery. You'd see it in the movies sometimes. They had some Hollywood depictions, those bad Arabs that like to kidnap or seduce the good, fine American stock, take it away to Arabia where she was supposed to be very bashful. I think there was a movie with Goldie Hawn of something of this sort, wasn't there? But in the Texas Organized Crimes Code, there's literally a preclusion on white slavery. It is a criminal penalty. What does that mean? Now, what if you take somebody and you don't even marry them off to one of those Arabian princes, but you engage them in sexualized race scenarios where they are expected to sexually perform in race based acts in order to get access to their basic resources? And when they refuse, then they're punished. Their lives are taken, their identity documents are taken, they're slandered, they're attempted for humiliation. They're accused of crimes. They have to witness crimes. They even have to go to the doctor in order to get prescribed medication because they're causing disturbances when they say no. They don't want to play the Isaiah scam and pretend like there's some woman that got excoriated from opening her mouth and then had to go cry outside until she got invited in to breastfeed some overgrown male baby. Under the Texas Organized Crimes Code, presumably white slavery was a RICO offense, or the equivalent of RICO offense in Texas. I'd wondered for some time, were they intentionally exposing me to representations of African American cops being this hyper-sexualized dominant in order to try to get me and trigger me to trying to present some sort of case about white slavery? See, they never took any of my legal efforts seriously. They kept trying, as I understood, to compel me to do something novel that an actual lawyer probably wouldn't do. But because I'm pro se, let's see what she comes up with next. And I really felt for a while somebody really wanted me, Charity, to engage a case accusing African American cops of white slavery. Now, to this day, I've refused. Because the slavery I'm talking about isn't that caricaturized, and I'm not talking about legitimizing or even challenging a performance of Masonic ritual. I'm talking about actual intentional dispossession of people's means by which to take care of themselves in order to compel them to situations of illegal debt that are effectively slavery. And using a race based paradigm as some sort of inversion is insulting. I don't believe in racial quotas. Part 2.